My parents said they couldn't afford my life-saving treatment because my brother needed tuition money. My aunt saved me. 10 years later, they showed up at my door begging for help. I was 16 when my kidneys started failing. The doctor said I needed a transplant within the year, or I wouldn't make it to 18. My parents sat in that hospital room and listened to everything. They nodded along, asked questions, held my hand. I thought they were scared for me. Turns out they were doing math in their heads. The surgery and aftercare would cost around $80,000 after insurance. We had the money. My parents had been saving for years. A fund meant to be split between me and my older brother Danny for college. About $100,000. Enough for my surgery with some left over. But Danny had just gotten accepted to a fancy private university. Full price, no scholarships, $70,000 a year. My parents called a family meeting 2 weeks after my diagnosis. My dad cleared his throat and said they'd made a difficult decision. We've decided to use the savings for Danny's education, my mom said. She couldn't look at me. He worked so hard to get into that school. This is his future. I stared at her, waiting for the punchline. What about my surgery? We'll figure something out. Maybe there's a payment plan or charity programs. The hospital has resources, but we can afford it. The money is right there. My dad shook his head. That money is for education, for building a future. Danny's opportunity won't wait. Your surgery can be worked out other ways. Danny just sat there playing with his phone. Didn't say a word, didn't defend me, didn't offer to go to a cheaper school, just sat there like we were discussing what to have for dinner. I cried for 3 hours. Then I called my Aunt Rosa, my mom's sister who lived 2 states away. We weren't super close, but she always sent birthday cards. I told her everything. She was quiet for a long time. Then she said, pack a bag. I'm coming to get you tomorrow. My parents didn't fight it. I think they were relieved. Aunt Rosa showed up the next morning, had a screaming match with my mom in the driveway, then drove me to her house. She put the surgery on credit cards, took out a second mortgage, and found a donor through a registry. I had my transplant 4 months later. Aunt Rosa sat by my bed every day. She fed me soup when I couldn't hold a spoon. She drove me to physical therapy 3 times a week. Never once made me feel like a burden. My parents called twice during recovery. Once to say Danny was loving college, once to ask if I felt better. Both calls lasted under 5 minutes. I didn't go home. I finished high school with Aunt Rosa, graduated with honors, got a scholarship to nursing school. I wanted to help people the way the nurses helped me. I wanted to be like Aunt Rosa, someone who showed up when it mattered. It took 6 years, but I paid her back every dollar, then kept sending money because she deserved it. I worked my way up. Charge nurse, then supervisor, then director of nursing. Married a good man named James. Bought a house, had twin girls, built a life. I didn't talk to my parents or Danny. They had my number. They never used it. Then 3 months ago, my doorbell rang on a Saturday morning. My mother stood there looking 20 years older. My father behind her, leaning on a cane. Can we come in? Her voice was shaky. I didn't move. Why are you here? My dad started crying. I'd never seen him cry before. Danny's sick, my mom said. His kidneys. He needs a transplant. We were hoping you could help. You work in healthcare, have connections, and the cost. We don't have savings anymore. Danny's loans took everything. We thought family could help family. I looked at these people who chose tuition over my life, who let their 16-year-old leave rather than pay for her surgery, who called twice in 10 years and never said sorry. When I was dying, you had the money to save me. You chose Danny's school over my life. Now suddenly family matters? My mom cried. We made a mistake, but he's your brother. He's going to die. Then use his education. That's worth something, right? Education builds a future. Danny's opportunity couldn't wait. Your exact words. Please, my dad said. We'll apologize. Go to therapy. Anything. I'm not a match, I said. Different blood types. And I spent 6 years paying back Aunt Rosa. I don't have secret money. My connections are for my patients, not people who show up after a decade because they need something. I started closing the door. There are charity programs, payment plans. That's what you told me. Figure it out. They stood on my porch 20 minutes before leaving. Danny died 8 months later. Couldn't find a donor. Couldn't afford private options. Charity lists were too long. I went to the funeral, sat in back, left before the reception. Some might think I'm cruel, but I remember being 16 and hearing my parents say my life was worth less than tuition. I remember Danny saying nothing. I remember Aunt Rosa praying in the hospital chapel. I don't owe them anything. I already died once to that family.